Namaste, Dosto. Here I am once again to do the Gita reading, like we do always, all, always, all Thursdays. We're going to keep reading the third chapter. Now it's going to be the 32 till 35. The noise that you guys can hear, it's the wind. Hi, Kemo. How are you? Good to see you. I'm good. Happy to be here again to do the Gita reading. 3, verse 32 till 35. Everybody ready? If you, what do you guys prefer? Just see my face and hear my voice, or the slokas? Because I put the mic. Yeah. I can do like this, for example. Show the slokas and read with you. I think this is the best way. Everybody ready? More my sign very because I'm not prepared the level of things. Study a lot, rest well, and be confident. You're going to be good in your exam. Yes, Karmyuk. So let's read together. But those, Gita 3:32. But those who find faults with my teachings, being bereft of knowledge and devoid of discrimination, they disregard these principles and bring about their own ruin. Even wise people act according to their natures, for all living beings are propelled by their natural tendencies. What will one gain by repression? The senses naturally experience attachment and aversion to the sense objects, but do not be controlled by them, for they are always lawyers and fools. It's far better to perform one's natural prescribed duty, though tinged with faults, than to perform another prescribed duty, though perfectly. In fact, it is preferable to die in the discharge of one's duty than to follow the path of another which fraught with danger. Now I'm going to read the commentary. Jai Shri Krishna Pranta Kumar, how are you? The commentary is by Swami Kondanand, and basically he says something like, in this verse, the word Dharma has been used for 4 times. Dharma is a word commonly used in Hinduism and Buddhism, but is the most elusive word to translate into the English language. Terms like righteousness, good conduct, deed, noble quality, etc. only describe an aspect of its meaning. Dharma comes from the root word "thiri", which means dharan, karane, yogya, or responsibilities, duties, thoughts, and actions that are appropriated for us. For example, the Dharma of the soul is to love God. It's like the central law of our being. The prefix swa means the self. Thus, Swadharma is our personal dharma, which is the dharma applicable to our context, situation, maturity, and profession in life. This Swadharma can change as our context in life changes, and as we grow spiritually. By asking Arjuna to follow his Swadharma, Shri Krishna is telling him to follow his profession. and not change it because someone else may be doing something else. It's more enjoyable to be ourselves than to pretend to be someone else. The duties born of our nature can be easily performed with stability of mind. The duties of others may seem attractive from a distance and we may think of switching, but that is a risky thing to do. If they conflict with our nature, they will create disharmony in our senses, mind, and intellect. This will be detrimental for our consciousness and will hinder our progress on spiritual path. Krishna emphasized this point dramatically by saying that it's better to die in the faithful performance of one's duty than to be in a natural position of doing another's duty. This verse is very powerful, right? Because I think nowadays it's something really common in the world for us. Want to do something completely different from what we should be doing. Many people don't know what they should do, actually. They don't know what's their dharma. It's eternal searching. People are always trying to know, trying to understand what they should do, how, when, and you got confused. And you sometimes you try to fit what's the new tendency. We try to follow what looks easy and better to us, but everybody has their own qualities, abilities, ways to see things, and this is what made us unique. And this is what we should do: focus and learn who we are, our abilities, capacities, and improve our natural abilities. And use this to do the world a better place. We need to do what's make us happy, what brings harmony, peace, be useful to society. Hi Praveen, Namaste Bharati. Good to see everybody here again. So this versicle, this is look is so good, so important because you can have you can discuss about so many things reading this. I'm not using the book now, I'm using the phone because the Gita that I have is the Bhagavad Gita as it is from ISKCON, but I prefer this one to read, especially the commentaries. That is the Holy Gita by Swami Mukundananda. I want to buy another one from another guy. I also have here in the phone. I'll show you. Because I like to read different commentaries, different translations, because it's very different. Especially the ISKCON one is very different from the majority. I can share the link anytime so that we can read it as well. Of course, you can just put in Google Holy Gita Swami Mukundananda. It's going to appear right away. I also like this Gita. See, is the author, the person who did the translation. This one I could not find in Brazil in the book, so I think he don't have any translation to Portuguese. So I download. So I read here in the notes. This one I also like the commentaries and then translation. I think it's really good. The Bhagavad Gita. Eknath Iswaram. It's difficult. But I think it's really good, this one too. I think I'm going to do a book version since he do not sell in Brazil this one, in the physical book of this one, and you need to do by myself. I like a lot of the translations and the commentaries especially. These two are my favorite. In Brazil, this one that I just showed, I cannot find physically in Brazil, but I think I'm going to do by myself. I will need to go in a place. And the other one is the Gita by Swami Kundananda. I also like. I think also the physical we do not have in Brazil, but I can use see in the internet because they have their own site. If you just put in Google Holy Gita by Swami Kundananda, it's going to appear. It's a good Gita, good commentary, is very easy to understand. So basically, these two are my favorite Gitas. Swami Kundananda English translation is most good. Yes, I like his. Because in Brazil, the most popular Gita is from ISKCON, and I do not like much. So I prefer these two that I showed to you. I think are my favorite translations, my favorite commentaries, easy to understand, and the translation is consistent. The ISKCON is not so consistent. But anyways, thanks. Namaskar. But basically, it's this. In the next chapter, you're going to read 36, maybe till 40, 41. Next Thursday, I read the Gita all Thursday. In general, it's always this time, this hour that I do. ISKCON sounds like a scam, like Somnaranha Pro Materialistic Money Driven. I think it's because ISKCON is more for the Western people. So it's more similar to Christian way. So I think it's easy to convert people here. Like something created for the Westerns. Some translation, I don't know. It's not consistent. But I won. It was my first gift that I won. And others book by Swami Prabhupada. Now, I think in Brazil you just need to have more translations from different traditions. Because most of the things, Mahabharata, Ramayana, we have in Brazil in Portuguese translation, but mm, they are not so good. I prefer to read English. Hindu girl is more powerful than any other girls according to understand a lot of things. Yes, but it's always good to know if you really understand right or not. I think when you are true to ourselves and we search to improve our spirituality, it's easy to live in harmony, happiness with our body, our feelings, our mentality. Because you guys have never lived in a selfish, closed, selfless people, which is not a problem. How would you ever know any better? But I have a question about this. Okay, do it. Let me take my water. Hi, Vinaya. How are you? We already read the Gita now. Just have a random conversation. Waiting just for the question. I'm reading from the Gita here. You guys have a favorite one? What if they fall into these scams and call the ice scam? I can understand them because they could have been used, but what about the image of English? They think what happened then have everywhere. Oh, this is projection. That's why it's important to have good information. Because if someone say to you, your religion is a scam, it's a lie, it's something to manipulate people, Okay, prove it. You need to know more than the others. That's why you need to check your history, go deep in your history, go deep in the books, in the shastras, and know what's true and what's not true. Pay attention the way the things are translated, understanding. Like, you should not just believe in anyone because they told you. You need to search and see for yourself. You cannot say that something is bad just because your experience with it was bad. You need to learn how to see the things in a separate way. If I have a bad experience with Sanatana Dharma, it's my experience. Doesn't mean that other people had the same. Because it's like this with everything. You're going to be able to find people that didn't had a good experience, or because I don't know, because the parents didn't help them or force them to something. But this is true. This is in the Shastra. You need to know your history, learn for yourself. Takes time, but it's necessary. And pay attention because obviously in all religions, not just in your religion, but every single thing the world's going to be people using something to take money from you, to manipulate you, and transform something that is good in something that is bad. Help you achieve your all goals. God bless. Thank you, Pranaya. Same to you. So that's why people need to be more aware. People need to study. For example, if we have everybody know there has many gurus or monks that are fake. They use the religion to make money, to live well, to to have followers, to have a good status. But we're going to know if he's real or not by their actions. You already heard that saying that says, "You know a tree by their fruits." Is this? If you want to know if someone is good or not, if someone is right or not, if it's a good guru, if it's a true guru, you need to know the philosophy, the dharma that he's talking about. I think I already heard about it. Mm. She take care of a old man, my mother. So to avoid to fall into scams, liars, or anything like that, we need to study. You need to study by ourselves. You can hear many things or from different people, but we already know what's true or not. If you go deep, study the history, because in the history many things happen there to change the scriptures. We need to go deep in the Shastra, go deep in the history, and hear our winner voice. Vegetarian. Okay, Shivanand. I do. So basically, it's this you cannot put the fault of your problems, your personal, how can I say, experiences of their religion, something else or someone else. It's your experience. I have a question. What do you think about veganism? Veganism is more, it's a political and social way of living from people that wants to be more health and do and protect the environment, the animals, not just the animal, but the earth in a general way. I think it's very beautiful, but I think for some people it's not too easy to follow, especially in some countries that it's going to be more difficult. You find things that are really vegan. Some countries are already difficult to find food that is vegetarian. Can you imagine vegan? Many things that we do, especially here in the West, come from animal origin, but not just animals, but the the way they use the natural resources of the world is not good. So I think it's difficult. People need to be really strong. The person needs to be very aware of their decision because I think it's not going to be easy to follow, especially depending on the country the person lives. But it's something really powerful. I would love to be, but I think it's not possible for me. Really difficult for me to have a compromise with yourself to live a lifestyle that you're not going to use that comes nothing from animals, clothes, the food, cosmetics, medicine. How many members in my family? Just I live just with my mom. I don't have father anymore. I think I already say this, right or not? So basically, just me, my mom, and the other members of my family live in another state. I don't have so many deeper relationship with them. 1 second, I'll put the test menu vegan is okay. And sorry for your alarm. I didn't lose sister. Oh, sorry, I didn't lose my father. I said something difficult to explain. Maybe I talk this in the future, but something more difficult to explain now. Something that it's really common. Well, I can talk this later. You guys can hear me, right? I think the microphone is not in a good position. My legs are hurting from being in the same position. I would push it for them. Oh, it's okay. It's fine. Maybe one day I do a video explaining better. But talking about the Gita again, I was thinking to do this type of live in a different way. For the real Gita, the real book. In a way more studying, this type of studying live. I think it would be better. But first, I want to change a little bit and need to organize my table because my table is a mess. I will try to show you. Yes. See how it is. My table is a mess. I need to clean, organize something because some furniture didn't arrive yet. No, I'm not. And I want to do the lives in a more like in a real study, but I don't know if I'm going to do in the video or not. This week, guys, I think I'm going to upload a vlog, okay? I already upload the exposed today. I upload a reaction. Now I'm going to upload a Yes, it's a mess because some things should not be here like this. This is the box of the microphone. This should not be here. This should be in the right place. But as I some furniture didn't arrive yet because I like to have my table completely free for me put just the books to read, to study. The pencils, like look, some of my pencils are in a cup. This is not exactly a problem. I put here because I think it's more easy because these pencils is the ones that I use more. This medicine should not be here, should be in the box of medicine. I don't know why it's here. Why it's here. So I'm waiting for my wardrobe needs to arrive. Waiting to put my clothes, and the other one to put this type of thing. Like all the chargers are here, so it's not like this. Everything mixed. Evan close to me has like this. What is this? Is because this one I inside if I'm going to put in the trash or not because it's already old. It's not a real gold, as you can see. And these small perfumes that I want to try. I don't want to put in the box of the other ones because this, as you can see, just a small one to use in day by day. So many things that are in the wrong place. Let me see. Veganism is a philosophy and way of living which seeks to exclude as far as possible and practicable all forms of exploitation of and cruelty to animals for food content. Yes, and by extension promote the development and use of animal-free alternatives for the benefit of animals, humans, and the environment. In the theory terms, it denotes the practice of dispensing of yes, produced by wholly or partly from animals. Yeah, but I think it's something difficult because medicine is the cosmetic, so many things use the animals. But it's growing. I think the vegan movement is growing slowly, but it is. Okay. I totally get you. I always organize my work spot out only I can find stuff from uh almost all the stuff, so it's organizing now. Yes. I need to do so many things in my bedroom because I waiting to my wardrobe and for another furniture that I'm going to use. So when my wardrobe and the other arrives, I'm going to put everything in the right place because now I have less space. See, can you see this pink thing? This is my bag with my clothes because while the wardrobe do not arrive, I need to put in my bag. But the bag is here in the middle of the bedroom. So it's bad. I Chiropat. I study cosmetology. I already read the passive. I read in the beginning of the life. You come back and watch there. I read the Gita. I show the Gitas that I like. Now we are just having a random conversation about many things. It was a quickly read because I read things for verses. I could read more, but I don't want to be not. I don't want to do nothing that's just arguing for everybody. It's but if possible, you are comfortable sharing what difficulties you face, like financial, like before as difficult as money and milk, honey. Honey, I think it's not that difficult. Obviously, the things that, for example, here in Brazil, honey it's already a little bit expensive. So the other things that are similar but completely natural is going to be even more expensive. For example, I used to like to when I become more vegetarian. I used to drink vegetable milk, and they don't do not anymore. has more than 1 year that the brand stopped to do this vegetal milk that it was from soy. So it obviously has other brands that do vegetal milk, but it's much more expensive. Like a box like this is more than 20 reais, and the cow milk is like 5. So you see the difference. Like, hi, C++, how are you? Fair enough, what did you discuss? And other thing, like the veganism, is the medicine. You know, some medicines are tested and used by animals, but some people will not be able to live without their medicines. Um, Here in Brazil, I think the what makes more difficult for to people be vegan like this is the price of the things that do not come from animals are much more expensive. Sometimes it's not easy to find. For example, I live in São Paulo, that is a big city, so here it's more easy. But people who live, for example, where I used to live in the north part of Brazil, that it was a small city, it was very difficult to find things. And when we find it's just one or two options, basically it's this. Some people can be the money too, as I say, because some things are more expensive. Sometimes it's not easy to find. Hello, Azarila. So is this problem, and also the some things we don't ever know because, for example, in Brazil, you're going to buy some products that if you go and read the ingredients, you are not able to recognize if it is or not from animals because they use different names. For example, in Brazil, the jelly, for example, they use something that came from the bones of the animals. And many people don't know this because they do not put like come from bones of animals. They put it a scientific name. So people don't know. Obviously, now recently some brands are putting if it's vegan or not, if it's natural or not, but not all of them. So it's difficult to know if it is or not. Yes, like I say, if you're sick, you have to customize that. If you don't take, it will deteriorate your health. Not a problem. So vegans don't customize taste on animals and their life. And yes, can commit to veganism. We need to admit that we have horrible deformed these animals over generations by selective breeding. It's not going to be one-step process. Yes, it's not something easy. If someone wants to follow this path, for example, in Brazil, here, if I decide one day to be vegan, it's going to be more expensive everything. So I need to have money. I need to have patience to check everything, to read the ingredients, the formulation, to find things, to explain to people because some people they don't want to hear, they just want, they don't care. If you, for example, someone invites you to a dinner and say, "Oh, thank you, but I don't eat this and that and that," so it's going to be a problem, even the social life, because, for example, in many parties that people do, most part of the food are not going to be vegan. Can be vegetarian, but vegan is more difficult. So people you look at you like the person that are saying no to your own tradition and things like that. Namaste, Pat. How are you? So this is a path that is difficult in a social way, in a financial way. You need to be really sure from your values to keep this and be strong to keep following this. Peanut butter on milk. Sure, I can trust you. The vegan milk in supermarket would be much more expensive. Yes, here it is. Then call me. But what if you can make soy milk at home? It would still have still save a bills on cost. Yes, but then you need to find the ingredients and do by yourself. Know how to do and preserve it. Some people just don't want to have this problem this time. As an example, sheep will literally cook themselves if they don't get sheared. Nor milking cows actually hurts them, and overfeeding the cow is terrible. Fear them too. Yes. Highlight. It's a complex thing. That's why you need to study very well. You need to study the biology of the animals, society, how they work. What's your education qualifications? I just say it. I am studying cosmetology. And also, you need to search for the health of the person. For example, something that is common for them that I saw in the United States and Brazil, people has a deficiency in iron or B12 that is just from animals. Yeah, it would be like living or put in the grasslands. Eu tô fazendo muito barulho. Tá sim. But anyways, it's a complex thing. Because has so many things to study, think. Veganism is a path that is different. That's why some people don't want to follow because it's more easy just living the way that you were living. People just don't care. No, why not? Pronto. I'm not. One day I want to buy the Indian perfume. People say that it's really good. The Arabic ones and the Indian ones. They always say they last long. Pergunta tchau. Arthur. I was just here reading the Gita. I read. Now you're just having a conversation. Namaste Satu. How are you? To make soy milk, you literally need only 3 grams of soybeans and water and soak them overnight and boil them. But it's a small convenience a justification to separate mother from their baby. Mhm. And with this, we can do how much? Actually, a bit. Yes, I already read it. Read it in the beginning of the live summit. Good. Namaste, Milton Patel. How are you? Oh, my leg is already hurting. I think I need to make this desk more high. I need to buy things to put in the floor because it's like this size. It's too close to the floor. I'm not married. I already said it. You guys believe that I didn't have my lunch yet? I get up early, oh late. So I tried just first come and do the live because I always read the Gita all Thursday, but now I still need to cook the lunch at. Probably going to eat the lunch this next time. Would you say you are pragmatic? I don't know if I can say this to be honest. I don't try to put, how can I say, I don't try to use words to define me. Everything is the contest. Hi, Subhash, good morning. It's not as a morning for me, it's more now, it's 1 now. 1:15 p.m. I think it's better this way, right? If I move the microphone many times, this sounds good because it makes noise. Actually, I need to do my nails. From our conversation, Radhika, I think you are a kind and compassionate person. Could be wrong, but and do you think it's to align our action to our words? It's really important because if you're a person of moral, obviously you're going to do the best you can to align your beliefs with your actions. 9:45 p.m. now in almost time to sleep. Fair enough, putting yourself in a box isn't good either, yes. Everything's the contest. Depending on the contest, the actions need to change. Or you like food eating pasta in general? Pasta with tomato sauce, cheese, and things like that. Braz- But the Brazilian food's really good. I love it. Tomorrow. Oh, I need to ask. You guys watched the video that I uploaded today? If you didn't, go there and give your like because it's really important for me and for the channel to help the channel grow. So watch there, give your like. You can and comment something. Can be anything, just an emoji. It's really important to help me. In this example, what do you think matters more, what I say or what I personally do? The actions, because it's really easy to say things, but do in a certain way is sometimes more difficult. For example, in the video that I uploaded today about Mother Teresa, she used to use this narrative of help the poor. Actually, she did not this. For example, in the hospital that she created, she didn't put hot shower and other stuffs to make the life of poor easily just because she didn't want. So she used to talk about helping others, but she didn't help in the way she could. She didn't did a good job. Oh, I think the battery of my phone already finished. Hare Krishna, Hare Chat. It's good to see someone from Bangladesh here. I already read Swaraj in the beginning. Like if you back the live to the beginning, you can see I already read more than 3 verses. And also I read the commentaries because about, as Jesus said, the fruits they bear tell you about them. Yes. People always going to say good things about their actions, the way of living. But one thing is what people say, and something completely different is what people do. I always put my things in the box. That's why I never put the box in the trash. I think this is a good way to last long. Okay, my bad, I just joined. It's fine, you can keep it here with us having a random conversation about spirituality, culture, and many things. And watch the life later. Hi, Shiva. The suffering of those people was a dirty doll. She used to beg with, of course, they didn't want to clean it, that will reduce the drying power of the bomb. Yes, you're feeling tired. No, why not? I slept well. Do you? What? My last difficult question: how many more animals do you want to be exploited and abused for you before you make a change? I think the exploitation of animals will not end. First, because people don't want. Because if you think in the big companies, they will not stop to make their money. They just will do this if they can find a way to gain more money to change the things. São Paulo. I live in São Paulo. Jai Shriram, Bablu, how are you? I would suggest you read some contests of Mahabharata before reading Gita. I read, don't worry. I want now read another Mahabharata, another translation, because the first one that I read, it was a little bit weird. It's the translation, so it's not that good. Ram Ram, Jai Shri Ram. But anyways, I have so many things to read in Sanatana Dharma. This was one of the things that made me more surprised when I start to learn about Hinduism, because like if you want to understand Christianity, you read the Bible. If you want to understand Islam, you need the Quran. But Sanatana Dharma is not as simple. It has many scriptures, many shastras like Mahabharata, Ramayana, the Vedas, Purana. Obviously, it's not mandatory, but it's good for you to have ideas. So, has so many things to read, to understand, so many different perspectives, so different, so many different views of things that you become like, oh my gosh, where are you going to start? I should start with the Vedas, I should start with the Puranas, I should start with the Gita, the Ramayana, because people say different things. I heard some people say no, start with the Puranas, others no, start with the Gita, others no, you should read first the Mahabharata or the Ramayana. So it's a different way. Is there a temple in São Paulo? I did a video, I uploaded a video some weeks ago in the temple here in Brazil. You can watch there. No, there are authentic versions of Gita Press in Amazon. Okay, it's not that I see people draw towards following their daily route. I put the burden on industrial and as such don't buy any industrial animal products. I think in some countries it's more easy. In Brazil it's difficult to find, for example, here in the cities it's difficult to find a milk that comes in from a non-industrial. It's more difficult. Okay, let's talk about plastic bags. You and me both agreed we should reduce our waste percentage as much as you can, right? Yeah, but again, same thing is never gonna stop. Here in Brazil, the markets They try to do things like to make we use less. They ask money for the plastic bag. So in general, people take their own to the markets. The one that they can reuse. It's what my mother do. Is what I do. They have the options in the market, but you need to pay for them. So many people take their own bags, the eco bags, from to minimize the plastic. The plastic is a problem. The things are the I think one of the most problems is the plastic, because the plastic is something that not always you can reuse. Let's start with. I already read the Gita Pranta. It was in the beginning of the life. So if I reduce my plastic waste to 2 bags a month, cut it down entirely, it would not make much difference, especially beginners have much more. Yeah, because one thing is you doing something, but the rest of the world are doing the same. For example, as I say, here in Brazil, the government put this law to pay for the bags to make more people use their own bag that is not plastic. And many people start to do this because nobody wants to pay for plastic bag. So these minimize, but still sometimes people use the plastic because some people just go quickly in the market, take something. So, but it's not just the plastic bag, but the plastic in many things. I don't have any plastic here, for example, but for example, things like this. This is not plastic. This is paper. Some things you can buy this way. We think that it's just paper, so it's not going to be in the world forever. But some companies is going to still use plastic because it's easy and cheap, and some things you cannot put in a paper. Obviously, it has two type of plastic. Some things you can reuse, others you can't. I know that I don't know in your country, but some countries are already giving preference to use these because the government are motivating people to use that one that you can reuse. So things are changing, but it's very slow because the big companies, they don't want to lose money, they want to make money. So they're going to make the easy way, the cheap way, that sometimes not the good for the world. That's why people needs to investigate and the laws needs to stop the corruption and keep the eyes in their companies to guarantee they do the right thing. So needs many people doing the right thing. This is the difficult part. Hare Krishna Santi. In Gita, Krishna says, unless you don't surrender your ego and be a devote of Krishna, you can't understand the Gita properly. It's always going to be difficult to understand Gita because our human mind are so immersed on Maya that maybe sometimes you can't think that we understood but didn't understood. Reducing is the first step of 3 hours. Of course, I care my own body. Yes, we cannot do change drastically just from day to night. So everything starts with one step at a time. People start to reduce, then change for something else. It takes some time. People's not going to change from day to night, night to day. It's a step by step. Hindus in Bangladesh are living and struggling. Hindus have no freedom. Yes, I always heard this, and this is a very situation. It's difficult to have voice when you are the minority. In order to understand Gita, you need Vedanta philosophy to explain. Yes. But now, if we talk about the animals, life is not like if everyone does, or it's never gonna stop. But to that one animal that would be abused or exploited, for would mean everything to that one animal. Yes, how is the Brazilian weather? It's cold. It's raining cold, at least here where I live. It's time for me to sleep. I'm going to. Oh, yes, late for most of you. Have a good night. Also, I was just comparing plastic to animals to make you understand that two plastic bags would not mean shot to us or intolerant, but they are not sentient and for animals their intelligence. Yes. Sleep well. Let's start with the Gita. Pranta, I already read the Gita. In the beginning of the life, you come back there. Good night, Swaraj. I think it's already late for most of you, right? Let me see here. I have the hour, the word hour, New Delhi, 21:59. Wow, I have in my phone already. Here it's 1:29. I didn't cook my lunch yet, but I think my mother is going to cook today, so it's fine for me. Because I had breakfast late, so I'm not that hungry. But I need, sister, what time is it where you are now? It's 1:30. 1:30 p.m. Lunchtime. But as I said, I'm not that hungry since I had breakfast late. But basically, what I need to say is, if you didn't watch the video that I upload today, go there, give your like, comment. This is a good way to support me. If you want to support me in other ways, you can go in the description of the live and click on the link of my Patreon, and there you also can support me. It has many ways to support me. Subscribing to Patreon, or just watching the lives and giving your like, watching the videos, a comment, something can be just an emoji. This really helped me a lot. But anyways, guys, I already read the Gita, we already talk. Now I need to go, I need to do my stuff, I need to record video today. I think the video that I'm going to record today, I think I'm going to upload before then the vlog. The vlog is going to be later. That's it. It's an interesting video. Is Brazil affected by floods and hurricanes? Floods, yes, a lot, especially here in São Paulo. Alright, have a good one. Good night. Let's start. So, thank you for everybody that was here. If you didn't watch the video that I upload today, go there and give your like. I'm going to know who did. Did you get my point? What are your updated thoughts on veganism? It's still the same. It's a different way of living that is very strict. If someone can do it's good to help minimize the impact, but it's not that easy for everybody. But anyways, guys, I need to go now. As I said, I need to record the video today. I need to do the stuff in my home. I need to study. See you in the next video, in the next live. See you, Fumlingue.